This is Fable. Well, we're in Fable Anniversary, but we're jumping in and taking a look at the game after 20 years. That's right, the Fable experience has reached 20 years of age, and it's kind of amazing just thinking of all the time that has gone by, as 2 decades is quite a mark to hit, particularly for a gaming franchise where gaming in general is still relatively young as an industry, and there are a few IP that have that kind of legacy, as to say. So it is sort of amazing to be here, 20 years on, taking a look at Fable, something that I played, way back in the day when it originally came out. I wish I had the original version of Fable kind of sitting around. Oh, should we take a look at the Heroes Guild? I think we should definitely go to Bowerstone South. There's a place I want to specifically go, but we should go to Bowerstone South for a bit. It's just kind of neat. Like, I wish I had a copy of the original version of Fable sitting around, because it would be very interesting to kind of dive into that from a retroactive standpoint. And it is a bit of a shame that Xbox never made Fable like backwards compatible, the original Fable, so we only have Fable Anniversary, which was obviously like a remake effort to bring back the original version. And you know what? Like, it's pretty good in terms of visuals and stuff like that, the assets, and it does upgrade the original Fable experience quite a bit. The performance leaves a lot to be desired, because it is FPS boosted, but that FPS boost, you can tell, is a little too demanding for Fable Anniversary, which is why I theorize the Xbox Series X really just isn't quite capable in regards to, like, handling handling too many, like, resolution bump ups and frame rate improvements for 360 games, which I think is a bit of a shame, but that's how she goes. But yeah, no, there just really, to me, is something kind of unique and special about the Fable franchise. I've always found it to be rather intriguing, just from a perspective of, like, what the franchise offers gameplay-wise. The idea of being a young kid and sort of growing, and your choices and the decisions you make in that universe impacting sort of how you look and the kind of character, hero, or maybe even villain that you sort of become. And I always thought that, like, morality system really was something that was quite special to Fable, that made it so intriguing and exciting. And it was really ambitious for the time too, in terms of, like, the technology at play, what they were trying to do with this series. Like, I always thought, maybe we should just go out into the other area here. I don't know. I'm not allowed? Well, that hurts my feelings. I thought I was a growing hero in this land. But no, it really was something that looks so special, and always was so special in terms of, like, the gameplay, the mechanics, and as it evolved, I thought that was really neat. I was kind of debating if I should kind of, like, jump between the Fable games when doing this, but I thought, hey, you know what? This should just be a look at the original Fable experience. And as I said, I really do wish I had a copy of the original Fable lying around. At least I don't think I do, in my big stack of ever-growing older titles that I have available to do random things on. But yeah, there was something really cool about this one. I love this game, and I kind of almost wish that they would remake it again. Like, I know that this holds up. Like, I think this Fable game does actually hold up pretty well in terms of, like, the visuals and everything like that, but there is a part of me that sort of was like, it would be really interesting. Wait, is this the way to the Heroes Guild? Oh, this is Greatwood, but yeah, is this the path to the Heroes Guild? It's hard to remember all of the, the directions for everything. Oh yeah, no, this is the picnic area. Oh, the picnic area was kind of adorable. I think it's the other way to the Heroes Guild, the other side. But yeah, as I was saying, it's just kind of neat to be revisiting this kind of game, or continuing to find excuses to keep revisiting this game, because it is something that I think has been so intriguing to me over the years, and the different, like, entries that followed it afterwards, right? Just this element of, hey, you're coming in here and there's all these ambitions that we have as, like, a concept for this franchise, and then the second one they build it up even further, and then the third one they tried some more stuff, and then there was spin-offs with the Journey, and then there was like Fable Heroes, and there was the pub games. There was a lot to this. Like, it's very nostalgic, I think, for a lot of people, especially if you played back in the day. And then you saw this effort, because they were doing around this time, like we had gotten Halo Anniversary, right? And then this one followed a little bit afterwards, because obviously the anniversaries aren't the exact same for them, but it was just kind of neat seeing this sort of Journey celebrations, and it would be cool to see them remake it again. I think would be quite a fascinating thing. Oakvale, that's such a lovely area. I think we want to go to... kind of want to go to the island, Witchwood or Knotthole Glade. Yeah, because I'm trying to make my way back to the arena, because I actually have to do that as a quest right now at the current moment for this character. But yeah, that idea of journeying is such an interesting part of the Fable franchise for me, and such an essential part of it, where you start out and you're usually a kid, you usually come from nothing, and you forge your way to being a hero or a villain, and then you get to see that play out across the different games in different ways. The second one leading into the heroics and stuff even further, and of course with the third one leading into the element of being a king, right? Of being a greater leader. And I always thought it was really fascinating that they each tried to do different things while still having the same themes, and the evolution of the Fable series. A shame, because apparently, like, Fable 4, when they were working on it, and they got pushed to do Fable Legends, which if I someday find footage of that, like, I have a video of it on my channel, but you know, the quality and stuff isn't as great as it could be. I have Fable Legends footage that I was allowed to take during E3 15. So, like, I have that sitting there. It's so dark, this game, too. It's dark in my footage. But yeah, I do have footage of that. And that was kind of what they were forced to do, was push to a live service thing, instead of doing Fable 4, which was supposed to be Victorian era, and the Wolverines were supposed to be like Jack the Ripper. And, like, that would have been really neat. It would have been cool to see Fable continue across different entries, and continue to evolve in terms of basically being like, hey, you know, now we're in a new era, here's how society, how Albion has changed over time, and whether or not heroes are a big thing, or whether a hero needs to come up. And I think those concepts would have been, to me, really, really interesting. And it's just a shame that we didn't at least get a fourth one. And, you know, now things are being rebooted 20 years on, which it's about time, honestly. Xbox, what are you doing out there? But, yeah, it's just kind of weird that, like, so much time has passed, and such a staple of, at least for me, and I think a lot of other people, of literally the Xbox platform has been just missing for, what, a decade now? It's utterly ridiculous. Like, half the time Fable's been around, it hasn't even literally been, you know, kicking and alive. It's a shame, because we all know how it happened, right? Like, Fable Legends obviously never came out. I thought the game was pretty cool, honestly. I thought they should have just released it. I don't think it would have been that badly received, but yeah, it's just kind of weird that, like, this series has been stagnating, or, I don't know, just sort of, like, thrown to the side for so long, when it is such a cool, great role-playing series that I think is just absolutely ripe to be expanded upon, to do new things with. And I can't believe that Xbox has, like, just let Fable just sit there for so long. It's embarrassing. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, Fable is so cool. Let's talk a little bit more about... Is that the way to... This is the way to the actual... Why am I showing Bowerstone here? I'm trying to do the the chicken kicking competition. This is always fun of the chicken kicking. Okay, so we could do the Witchwood Arena. Oh, great. But yeah, it was really cool when you kind of build your hero up and the things you do. And I love, like, whether you eat things that would impact the look of your character, the choices you would make, you know, what you consume. And the idea originally where it was like, it was a world that was supposed to grow over time. And they've always had such grand ambitions for Fable as a franchise. With Peter Molyneux there, just that guy always had such grand desires and scopes for what Fable could be. And Fable, I don't think has never necessarily been able to do that sort of thing. I don't even think other games have been able to do that sort of thing. And it's almost a shame, because I love the concepts of what Fable is and what Fable aims to provide. And I just think it's such a wonderful series. Like, it's so full of life and so full of decisions, and seeing like a passage of time, building up a hero or a crazy villain, doing silly things that are very distinct to the British humor, the style of it, kicking the chickens, uh, you know, making little funny jokes here or there, like showing off your muscles, and doing the wheel of misfortune, like just this terrifying wheel of like sacrificing, like bringing people there and like sacrificing them and stuff. And yeah, Fables is just such a special, unique franchise, and it's so filled with fun. And I love all of them for different kinds of reasons and what they provide. And it's just kind of neat to be here doing like literally retrospective in terms of talking about the game after such a long period. I can't believe it's been that long. Like, I don't know, like you know, you kind of like play something and like something comes out in your life and you're like, oh, this is neat, this is cool. And then as like time goes on, it's like decades later and you're thinking back being like, wow, I remember when this came out on the first day and I played it or experienced it. Can I buy stuff from you? Yes, I'd like to trade. I don't suppose you have a fine selection of health potions, do you? You just do, I don't want to sell, do you just, I need health potions. I own 3, I buy like 10 of them? There we go, I buy like 13. A resurrection vial costs $500. Oh, I doth not have any money, because I bought too many health potions. That's on me. You know, that's on me. I don't really use great axes. Are these weapons I have sitting here? Profit, okay, can I... Wait, no. All I have is this obsidian longsword. I can't sell anything else? No, that's not good. Sell. I can sell will potions. Well, how many resurrection vials do I have? I have 5. Okay, I don't need anything else. Kind of wasted all that money on potions, I guess, but whatever. Let's do it.
Look, you'll have to wait.
I want to go now. I am a frustrated hero that wants to venture out into the arena and die, potentially. Okay, expressions. Social. Haha. But yeah, the humor and the distinction of it, like kicking chickens, having a laugh, having a really cheeky sort of thing. But it's also very mature. Like Fable, I felt like when I was younger it was fine to play and it was kind of funny and stuff. But it is like adult, like, right? You could have relations, and you can have like a wife, and you can have kids, and it is a game about life, and it's like, it's mature, but it's also whimsically silly and fun and delightful. And it plays on these different elements of like these fantastical creatures in the land of Albion and the concepts of them and the mythology and all that. And I just like, I really do believe that this is a series that could be very versatile and really have just a never-ending scope if you do it right. Like, it is kind of a perfect RPG-like experience, and I just really do think it has sort of been let down mainly by Xbox not supporting this franchise, because it always did pretty well. All of the games are really cool. And, you know, I love this original one. From that first game you play, where it was sort of groundbreaking concepts, role-playing, and styles on that original Xbox, to its remake, to its sequel on the 360 with Fable 2. That was a really big deal, well-loved. Co-op was so much fun, it was a great time. I think it's one of the best role-playing games anyone's ever created, actually. It's one of my favorites of all time. I think it's pretty well respected by most. Fable 2 is great, and it builds upon the concepts of the first one in excellent ways. And I really like the third one as well. I know that's, you know, other people have different thoughts. I thought if you held the ground for a long time, it kind of did like a thing. Or maybe I'm thinking of Fable 2, aren't I, where you kind of hold the ground, it does like a big burst circle. Yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, and then Fable 2, just big expansions, co-op fun, a greater, crazier, like, Bowerstone. And finally with Fable 3, this whole push to being, like, the leader and stuff. And it feels like the first half of the game was so well developed for Fable 3, and then it's just like, as soon as you get to the king part of it, it feels like they weren't given the proper time to really build that out in terms of scope and design and gameplay, and that's such a shame because the king building stuff, or the king management and all that, I think is a wonderful concept, and it was really unique in its delivery, and it just didn't get the full sense of scope that could have really made it something truly special. And the voice talent in Fable 3 is amazing. I love the idea of building up and having like the musket weapons, just like gunplay a bit more into it. The dog was a huge part of the Fable games as well. But did I just click OK too? I think I just pressed A for something. I don't know what I just spent money on. Anyways, I hope it's not a big deal. Totally ignored that. Oh, we've got... All right. Great. Crazier enemies. Awesome. So anyways, yeah, the dog was a big thing of the Fable games, for sure. And that's like a Fable 2, Fable 3 kind of thing. Then there's Fable Heroes, which I think is adorable. I always recommend trying Fable Heroes. It's like a silly, fun board game, kind of like it's with puppets, so all the characters are puppets, and it's a hack and slash with Fable characters, and it's cute and it's adorable. It's pretty simple and easygoing, but I think it's really good for like the family. And then there's pub games, which I think led into Fable 2, where you could do, you know, pub game combinations, and basically, ow. I don't need the chicken. I need, I need, I need health potions is what I need. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And chicken kicking itself is just, like, such a big part of the series, which is kind of funny. The chicken kicking is just a wildly hilarious time where you just, like, boot them. It's like, who came up with that? I'd love to know who was the person that was like, you know what, we should allow players to just kick these chickens. You ever wanted to do that? You ever walk down the street and just be like, a chicken? And just wanted to, like, boot it, like, miles away. Always a fun thing. Oh, yeah, so pub games, and then there was Fable the Journey, which I bought, well, I have physical copies of it. So at some point down the road, when I get a Kinect thing set up and going, again, I will do some Fable the Journey gameplay, because I think that would be really entertaining. But that one was kind of innovative and really focusing on storytelling, in the sense that, like, you know, you were doing something with motion controls, and it wasn't like a typical Fable adventure, because you'd be, like, doing, you know, motion stuff on a more preset narrative setup, but you could use magic and all that, which is kind of cool. Then, of course, Fable 4, which was going to be Victorian era, and it was cancelled. And Fable Legends, which was an asymmetrical multiplayer game, and I mean, look how popular Dead by Daylight is now. Is to say that, like, a Fable Legends would have been a really big, long-term, well-supported game. I actually kind of found it really intriguing, and I thought it looked really good for its era. Like, I was really impressed by it when I was playing it, so it is a shame that they never really focused on that one. And then we did get Fable Fortune, which is now shut down. I don't even think it's playable anymore. Which was a card-based version of Fable, but you could play it with others too. I actually thought that one was really intriguing, but it never really got any sort of big support and kind of fell apart, I guess. And that in itself is a bit of a shame, because I thought that was really neat. So that, I think, is the Fable stuff at the current point in time, at least from what I can sort of remember off the top of my head, unless I'm missing something glaring, and then I apologize for that. But 20 years of Fable. It's a long time. It really is. To, like, me, 20 years is a crazy portion of my life. It's a big portion of some people's lives. The fact that that franchise had such longevity, like, it's still talked about, and the fact that we haven't had new entries kind of just shows how, at least I think, pretty great Fable is as a franchise, because it's something people remember and they love and they want to see more of. And hopefully at some point Fable kind of continues and hits the love and focus and support that it really should have gotten all along. We should have been playing multiple Fable experiences, and it's just a bit of a shame. Do I go to the rounds, or do I just keep going? You guys want Bloodlust? Okay, we'll do it again. And it's just a shame that we never got Fable to the degree that we maybe should have. We should have had some more entries, and it's just terrible that you have such a great role-playing franchises, and people love RPGs, they love open-world games, they love this type of concept. That's why I call things Fable Hub Worlds, is the section, semi-open worlds that Fable had and introduced. But yeah, and then to have, like, this great franchise here and not, like, tend to it and grow it is just crazy to me, especially when role-playing games have become so large. But Fable is timeless, and I'd still recommend diving in and playing the Fable franchise because these games are great.